Alright guys, this is Doom 3 difficulty 4 and we are doing the skill notes 1 and 2 today. Wanted to make this video to help my alliance mate out, but if you enjoy this video, if you get anything out of it, please like and subscribe, you know the deal. So Doom 3 difficulty 4 is at the moment the hardest difficulty you can do. You can, in theory, you can do difficulty 5, but you will need characters at gear tier 17, and that's not really possible at the moment. Here you can see my team. It's actually quite beefy, so take this into account when you're watching this video. So yeah. So 1 million, almost 1,100,000 points in this team. And yes, we have all characters at gear tier 16. I've used my gear tier 60 gear on the skill team quite freely because we don't have any horseman teams that require skill gear. So that's the reason why I have these guys at gear tier 16. Other than that, I would say that I would prefer everyone to build their raid teams to gear tier 15, and after that, your gear tier 16 should be mostly going for either unlocking Dormammu or the horseman teams. Here you can see my ISO 8. We're actually timing out in here, so let's do it again. So over here, and this is pretty standard. Have your Captain Sam as a skirmisher, have your Shang-Chi as a raider, Maria Hill as a healer, and the two strikers are quite obvious as well. You could argue that you could use Kestrel as a raider, but that would be, I would say, redundant because we want two sources of vulnerables and two characters that can use those vulnerables in their advantage. Alrighty, so the first part in here is quite random. You don't want that disrupt to land on your Shang-Chi, and you don't want that slow to land on your Kestrel. Other than that, it doesn't quite matter. And we're starting with the special over here on Red Guardian. The idea there is to just get those defense downs on Thor, Red Guardian, and Sif at the same time. Alright, there we go. And in the lower difficulties, I've used to save my cooldowns, and I used special in here. But in the higher difficulties, you cannot afford to do that. You will get into trouble if you start saving your cooldowns. So I'm going to use the ultimate in here. And with the defense downs, you can see that we already got Thor down, and it's looking quite easy at this point. And now that we have offense up on our Shang-Chi and we have two buffs on Red Guardian, we actually do quite a lot of damage to these characters. And if you didn't know, yes, you should always target the character with the most buffs with your Shang-Chi ultimate. So that will do as much damage as possible. It will get extra damage from all of the buffs. So if they have like millions of buffs, then Shang-Chi will be going crazy. You could use ultimate in here, but it's not needed because with that special, you can actually easily handle this node with just doing the basic. Sorry, basic, not special. So going to basic here, and since we have a vulnerable in there, we'll be doing double attack, and as you can see, the turn meter rewind on Red Guardian is super low. The next target here is definitely Sif, because Sif will be doing the taunt on his first turn, and if you let the taunt happen, it can screw you up at some points. I'm doing the basic on Black Widow. You could do basic on Red Guardian as well. That way you could get double tap on Red Guardian. But I prefer to hit Black Widow, because if Black Widow gets to do that special, you might be in trouble. As I said before, I'm actually using my skills quite freely in here, and this special will be cleansing some defense downs from Maria and a disrupt from Sharon Carter, and I'll also hitting 3 targets, so that's pretty good. We could do basic here, but since that special gives us energy to our team, I'm definitely using this special instead at this point. So let's go with that. There we go. And then this last lands. And of course, your goal in here is to get those Hellas down before they get to use their ultimates. And you should definitely use your slows in here. As you can see, I could do, let's say, a special in here, but I want to save that for the last second node. So I'm just doing the basic. The slow will be helping me a lot. And now I'm switching my focus to the other Hela. I could target Red Guardian as well, but Red Guardian pings will be going just Red Guardian, so that doesn't help me get rid of those Hellas. So I'm actually using the basic over here with the minions, hoping to get some crits and turn me to rewind the Hela if possible. But yeah, just keeping my target on Hela. And now that we see Hela is almost at 50% life, I want to do that basic on Loki, because that Loki special is actually quite dangerous. And I think I can get Hela down before that Hela without the slow can take a turn. You could do the ultimate here, but I'm opting to use the basic. 2 reasons: save that ability for the next node, and you can actually, if you get lucky, like I do in here, you can get a chain attack to Loki. So that's really good. Alright. And I could have done that on Loki as well, I think. It didn't really matter. I did small mistake in here. Always check those turn meters, because you have to be aware of who's going next. And I do the mistake in here that I'm actually overlooking Red Guardian a bit. Red Guardian's ultimate actually does quite a bit of damage, so I probably should have done at least one more attack on Red Guardian instead of Hela, just to make sure that this doesn't happen. As you can see, my characters are quite low in health, but that's the first node. So learn from my mistakes. Actually, when I'm playing, I explained what I'm doing at the same time, so I'm playing quite slowly, and I'm doing some mistakes because it's hard to concentrate on 2 things at the same time, so sorry about that, bear with me. And at this point I actually noticed that I didn't have enough heals to get my team back up for the second node, so I have to go buy some cores. So yeah, if you want to skip a bit, you can go like, let's say 30 seconds forward and you will get to the second node. About the second node is definitely more harder, and there are definitely like targets that you should be focusing on instead of other characters. And here I'm just checking my heals and noticing that I need a bit more cores or heals for my Shang-Chi, and I'm going to buy some cores along the way. But yeah, on the first wave, your definitely most important target is Silver Samurai. So I'm actually always trying to kill that Silver Samurai as soon as possible, because he does a lot of damage and he can actually screw you up a bit. So for that reason, Silver Samurai is definitely a key, or like a priority target in there. Once the second and the last wave drops, there will be some other targets as well. But other than that, I'd say that the first wave is quite easy. But let's see if we can get in there. Game is working pretty slowly, but alright, here we are. Now we can heal Shang-Chi up. And I would say that the key abilities that you want to have ready for this node is your Kestrel special and your Shang-Chi ultimate. Other than that, it doesn't really matter which abilities you have. You can go with whatever. But those 2 are like the ones that you want to start the node with. So let's see how this goes. Alright. So yeah, I don't care at all about Nick Fury. I'm always targeting Anti-Venom, because this way I can hit 4 targets, and I think Anti-Venom and Silver Samurai are the ones that you should be worrying about here. Silver Samurai is the first target, Anti-Venom is the second target that you want to kill. Luckily our Shang-Chi didn't die for the bleeds, so we can use the ultimate in here, and as you can see, it does quite a bit of damage when you have defense down in there. It's like 500,000 in damage. You could argue that you can skip the special in this node altogether. there's one important reason, because there are two characters that actually abuse your minions and them dying, and that's Carnage and Deathpool on the second and last waves. So you might want to try at least without them. You could have just done the ultimate and there, heal your team back up. These minions are at the same time a bit of a liability, but of course, getting that defense down in there and getting some pings from Kestrel is always good, but you have to just be aware of that mechanic. On this wave, you definitely, of course, we have still Silver Samurai in the field, but Deathpool is the most important character in here. And the other important character, sort of, is Multiple Man. You want to save Multiple Man as the last character because you can use those clones to actually get more turns, and getting more turns will get you more ability energy as you go. Ghost Rider is definitely the big baddie in here. Get rid of Ghost Rider ASAP. So I actually saw that that the enemy, whatever vampire he is about to go next. So I just want to make sure that he dies before he gets to use his ultimate. And now I'm just putting all my focus on Ghost Rider. And since I have the minions in field, I have to be aware of Carnage and Deathpool as well. I probably did a small mistake here. I stunned Ghost Rider, and Ghost Rider is so close to dying that I probably should have used that stun on Deathpool instead, because once these guys do some AoE damage and they kill your minions, the Deathpool can just go crazy. But yeah, there you can see that I'm targeting Carnage, because Carnage and getting those minions down will get you in trouble. Deathpool is one important character as well. We have basic in here, so I'm opting to use it on Ghost Rider just to get the extra ping. The Deathpool is quite under control still, but as you can see, we have Anti-Venom taking turn quite soon. That Miles Morales ultimate is really bad if you have Carnage or Deathpool ready to go, because the energy that the turn meter that they get from that, and the retaliation attacks or whatever you want to call it, they can be super bad. I'm actually using the special over here to heal a bit and get my hits on the clones and Multiple Man as well. I'm using my abilities a bit more freely here. I could be saving them a bit more, but I actually noticed that I'm close into timeout, and I want to avoid that so I don't have to buy energy for the actual node. And that's why I'm using my abilities a bit more freely here than I would normally do, but I just want to finish this on one take, and of course save some energy. And this would be the point: if you have a lot of time, you can use these clones, just like use your basics on the clones and build up your energy. And if you have like minions in the field, you can use that minion basics on Multiple Man to get more clones in the field. Just make sure that you use all of your powerful abilities like Kestrel basic and stuff on those minions, and make sure that they don't accidentally chain into Multiple Man, because you want to keep that Multiple Man alive as long as possible, because that way you will get more energy as you take more turns, and you will be ready for the boss node. But yeah, I think that's mostly how I see these two nodes. They're not too difficult. I'm usually doing a lot better than this, but like I said, when I'm trying to explain what I'm doing and playing at the same time, I usually make some mistakes because I'm overlooking something that I should be looking. And when I'm playing and just concentrating on playing, it's usually not that difficult, and I'm always never have any trouble with time, with which I had like in both of these notes. So that sort of explains it. But other than that, that's my philosophy on these two notes. And if you play it carefully, if you know these principles of these nodes, I think you can easily make these nodes sustainable. And remember, if you, of course, depending on how you're doing this raid, the boss node is always a group effort. So if you're not like super, if you don't have like all of your abilities ready and maybe one of your characters is a bit low on health, that doesn't matter because you should have like 3 other players helping you through that boss node. So don't be so hard on yourself if you're like not perfectly set up for the last node, the boss node. But yeah, that's it. If you like this video, if you got something out of it, please like and subscribe. If you have any comments, any criticism, anything, please let me know in the comments. But please remember, like I said, when playing and doing content, I usually make some mistakes. But if you understand what I'm talking about, I'm quite sure that you understand that how this should be done. But if you have any like pointers, any other things that you would like to let me know, please let me know in the comments. I'm always happy to talk about these matters. But all right, hope you enjoyed. See you in the next video. Bye.